Hello, everyone. Welcome into the PHNX Rising podcast. Appreciate everyone joining us. It's, of course, you know, we get it. Listen, we're in playoffs. We get elevated to the nice big old studio. It's only for the big boys, the top priority over here. Here we are. You get a nice shot of, the boys, my legs nice and toned as all of you guys want. You don't have to pay extra for that. That's just part of the show. Audio listeners, you got to watch on YouTube. This is how you get the good stuff. But anyway, got a fun show for you guys tonight. Just want to make sure, a reminder, right? We always have fun PHNX events coming up, as you know, right? We got Cardinals. We got a Cardinals away game watch party, BetMGM this Sunday. Going to be dropping a little bit of a ticket giveaway during that. And then also the next week, then you got our home watch parties at Gila River Resorts and Casinos at Wild Horse Pass. Always a good time there. Check out, of course, stuff we got in the locker, the Die Hard merch. Owen's got his merch. I got mine. You got the Rising merch back into the scarf. All that stuff. Make sure to get in on the fun. But hey, Owen, I don't know if you know this, but Phoenix Rising, they're going to the Western Conference Finals.
They are. I like to, before we move on, though, I'd like to address the fact here. Goldie Man Pat, lack of costumes, no festive spirit. Excuse me. Excuse me, Pat.
Excuse you, sir.
We're getting in the festive spirit. We're doing this podcast from a graveyard, right? Yeah. We've got the grave of San Diego Loyal sitting right here. Okay? Ooh. Okay, we have the gravestone here. It's got the little Loyal badge on it as well, okay?
We're paying homage to those who come before us.
If we thought of this earlier, we'd have printed a Reno one as well.
Okay, well, that's
but we didn't think of it earlier, so we don't have one. And unfortunately, the printer is too problematic for us to guarantee that we would get it done in any quick time. But hey, we're in the spirit. We're in the spirit.
We of course we're in the spirit. Do want to shout out others in the chat. Daniel Barry, Sports Highlights. Hey, what's up? Fat Kid, make sure to hit the like button. Fat Kid, that's a great idea. Everyone make sure to hit the like button, right? Appreciate that. Slightly asking, what's the jar for? I would say you got to turn to our PHNX Diamondbacks podcast to learn more. I'll just say this. I think that jar's going to be cracked open quite a bit during the post game on that.
For them, yeah.
Yeah, seeing how that's going. Producer Damon behind the Mac can argue he's grimacing in pain. We're not grimacing in pain because Phoenix Rise is good. Phoenix Rise is good. They triumph in the Yoffs, in the freaking Yoffs.
I'm rooting for you guys. I want everybody to win.
I agree. We're not. That wasn't a shot at you.
Well,
it's just reality.
You're wallowing in my pain over there.
I'm not.
You were wincing.
No.
I said wincing.
I argued with you earlier because you were backing a certain pitcher to do well.
I didn't say wallowing. I said wincing.
Max is going, we actually win in the playoffs. And
to be fair, the D-backs have gone further than Rising have.
Yes, but to be fair, we're also undefeated. Listen, I'm not trying to compare. We're not going to turn this into a Rising versus D-backs argument. We're not doing. Dear gosh, Scott in the chat. Speaking of
Scott, don't do this to us.
We're uniting. We're uniting for all the Valley sports teams.
That was my whole point. Yeah. I don't know why you're coming at me like that.
I wasn't coming at you. This is completely out of context. Once again, my good name, the very good name of Max David Simpson, is being absolutely slandered. But hey, what else is new? Phoenix Rising not being slandered because they took down Orange County SC in quite the match. Again, right, this team, they don't know how to win in 90 minutes. They also don't know how to lose in 90 minutes. Yet another thrilling game where it goes to extra time. Phoenix Rising coming away with it at the near death yet again, thanks to a slew of substitutions, namely Emi Quajo bagging the winner. And what was that? The 115th minute, something like that. It was late. It was very, very late. And here we are. We're in the Western Conference Finals. Let's go. How are we feeling?
I mean, it is right. I know the article went up earlier today, right? Talking about how, Phoenix Rising in a lot of ways back to where they belong, right? Okay, this is a team that has struggled a little bit, right? Last year, didn't make the playoffs. That was honestly the worst season they've had. And I mean, statistically, it's the worst season they had since the Arizona United days, right? Back when they were playing at Peoria Sports Complex. It's the first time they missed the playoffs since those days. Yeah. You then look ahead to, you look back even further, to 2021, rising out in the first round, right? Couldn't get it done at home against RGV in that game, despite a pretty good regular season performance. But in the end, as you look forward then to this year, they've suddenly found a way to battle through those, and they did it off the back of what was a rough end to the regular season, right?
Yep.
Not an easy way to finish that season up. They get into the playoffs. You think, okay, San Diego, big rival, don't want to lose to them.
Yeah, that was a nervy match.
Knowing the stakes of that, right?
Yeah.
I know, right? We had that conversation many times before as to whether do you want to see San Diego loyal if you're Phoenix Rising? Do you want to see them?
Yes.
You wanted to. I didn't necessarily want to because, again, you lose that game. You've lost the last ever
meeting.
meeting.
Damon, that's loser mentality. That's loser talk.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it was. That's something you would say to me. You know that's a fact if I was in your position. But
no, I wouldn't say that to you. I'd say that, yeah, it's a rough one. But
tough.
I don't know. I mean, as you look at how they got past them, how they got past Orange County, they weren't easy games.
No.
The team were not playing weak teams. These teams that came in on some pretty good runs of form going into the playoffs. And Phoenix Rising doesn't care about what form you're coming into the playoffs on.
No.
They go in there. They find a way to get goals. They're not going to let you beat them. And then when you are tiring, when you are late in the game and you are struggling, you can't keep up the intensity that maybe you were going at it with earlier in the match.
Yep.
They're going to find a way to get that winning goal.
Yeah, they are.
They're going to send you home very, very disappointed.
Some might say sad. But hey, yeah, it's let's take a look a bit at that this last match against Orange County. We got the numbers, the little by the numbers there, right? So again, of course, Phoenix Rising 2-1 as we talked about on Saturday's postgame, right? Again, just recapping. You see the XG, right, in Rising's favor, the possession in Rising's favor. I think the big thing here is they were very clinical. We saw a different story, like to your saying, against San Diego Loyal, where there were a lot of goals in that match. There were 7 total goals this time. It's less than half the goals total, and way less shots, right? But Rising was clinical. 9 shots, 4 of them on target versus Orange County, 17 shots, 3 of them on target, right? It's very much less clinical. And I think the key thing here is even though Rising dominated possession and they hovered around that 60% mark that they're normally at, it's something where it wasn't that meaningless possession. It wasn't just this side to side and hope for something. They did probe. They were probing with inside the box. They were able to really test the keeper a bit. And it wasn't firing shots quite like it was at the Raiders San Diego match, but they made it happen, man. It was fantastic. Yes, to Reese's point, the XG numbers are right, correct. I did double check with StatLackey. I'm like, hey man, there is no typos here or anything like that. We make it look good. We go. But you good? Okay. Yeah, you're good. No, but it's right. It was something where it's a different match in theory than how San Diego Loyal took it. And you now see this team, if you compare these two matches, they find different ways to win. The San Diego match, they were down behind early and they responded very quickly. They were down again they were down again later in the game, and then they responded again. And then they ended up taking the lead. Of course, they had an equalizer, but then they held on, took them into deep waters. This match, they scored right out of the gate. And even though they let Orange County back in it, this was something where this team is able to hang around. Whether they're taking the lead first, whether they're conceding the lead first, in both games, the fact that they were able to go into deep waters and pull something out of nothing, it gives this team a feeling that it doesn't matter who they're facing. They are not out of these games until the final whistle.
No,
and that's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah, exactly, right? And that's the thing. It speaks to, I think, the heart, the spirit in this team.
Soul. In
a lot of ways, right? That was the one quote, right, from Juan Guerra after the match, and the one that, again, we used in some of the stuff earlier and in the article, right? As Juan said, look, I'm just the guy standing on the sideline. This is all the players, man. It's their heart. It's how much they believe, and they keep pushing forward. This team doesn't back down. This team doesn't quit.
Oh.
But look, as we look at now to, I think there's a few different points we can kind of take with this. There's a few videos as well, right, that we didn't play out in the post-game show, and looking back now, maybe something to delve into, But of course, we saw a pattern, right? San Diego Rising take the lead. They sit back and absorb a lot of pressure. It doesn't end particularly well in terms of San Diego do find a way to get themselves back on the board. You look at the Orange County game, Rising score early. They sit back. They absorb a decent amount of pressure. And of course, they concede again. But let's actually have a listen to what Juan had to say about kind of the defending in those moments and just, how they're approaching that, why that kind of thing is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get an early goal, you're playing on a away field, stadium kind of like gets on top of the local team and they get that energy and they want to come forward. We've made some adjustments that then allow us to be able to press a little bit higher up the field. And I told you last week in San Diego, I don't feel comfortable because I don't like it. It's not part of our identity to defend deep for long periods of time. There's moments, circumstances, situations that you're going to have to do it, but it was too early in the game for that. And then they came on top of us, and listen, they have a team that has good service, good deliveries, crosses in, they're high pressing you, and we were not feeling comfortable. So we made adjustments, and I think after that, at probably the 35th minute, then we took control of the game again, and that's when I was starting to feel good again about, okay, now the blood is pumping, we're taking control of the game, now let's just make sure that we can finish some of the chances that we're creating.
Yeah, look, it's not ideal, I think, when you get into those moments. And again, you can't, as Juan said, you can't afford to just sit back. That's not really this team's identity.
No.
That's not what they do. That's not what we've become accustomed to watching them. They're a possession-based team, right? They're not going to do great when you expect them to sit back to absorb. Yeah, you've got moments where you've got to do that, right? You can't expect to be on top for an entire game. But if you're trying to do that, if you're trying to make that happen for, honestly, the best part of the 90 minutes, it's not going to work at all. And so I just wonder, right, in those moments, then, how is it then... You always have to look for the second, I think, in those moments, right? And again, I understand that you wanna drop off a little bit. You want to try and make sure that the immediate, perhaps, return in terms of the just the way that I'm trying to think of the best way to say this now, but just the crowd sometimes when you concede can pick up, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
We know that. They can pick up sometimes when you concede as well as drop off. Sometimes, especially early in games when it's a critical game, they know it's okay, we've got enough time to find a way back into this.
Yep.
They can pick up in those moments. It doesn't necessarily silence them. It can have the opposite effect. And you want to ride that out. You don't want to be just in that, accepting that, you could just throw it away because that's going to leave you in a pretty rough position. But at the same time, you can't just sit back and give up possession as much as they did. Give up the pressure as much as they did. Rising was sloppy after scoring that initial goal. They were just messy, I think, overall. And eventually, that's going to lead to the opposition getting an equalizer.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just interesting, right? I mean, I'm even saying, right, Paul's comment in there, I can't remember the keeper having to make a big save in the game. The work rate in front of him was unreal.
I mean, that's true as well. I mean, I don't think that Rocco had a huge amount to do.
No, there are a couple that, like, I would say were technically considered not on goal, right? Because, they didn't hit the goal frame, but they were a foot or two wide. Like, there were some shots that Orange OC did pepper in there. But I think, like, to your point, there wasn't like this big standout save that Rocco really had to make, because I think, to his credit, we called on this back line to say, hey, you guys had a couple either miscommunications or some sloppy routine errors against San Diego. If you let this happen again against OC, especially with the clinicalness of Milan Orlovsky a week after facing Ronaldo Damas, I don't know if you can go back-to-back weeks of getting by on that. And to their credit, they really shaped up. They really tightened up the hatches. Battened down the hatches, indeed.
They did. One other thing, you know what? Let's have a listen to this one as well, right? Another video from the weekend. Let's have a listen to what Danny Trejo has to say, right? He's on form. This is a guy that has scored now in 2 straight playoff games, right? We knew he was one of the top players on this team. He led this team in goals going in, but he's now scored in each of these 2 critical knockout games for Phoenix Rising. What's behind that form? Let's have a listen.
Yeah. I think a little bit is we know that it's playoffs. Obviously, if we lose, we're out. So obviously for me, I know all the hard work that I put in, so anytime I get to prove it in these games, I'm going to be ready. And, these are games that I've been getting ready since I started the season. And, we won this game. Very proud of the group, the coaching staff, everybody, the fans, but we keep going.
I think I should say they keep on going. I know Tom. I'm not saying Thomason here, but it's the indomitable human spirit, as he so often says, right? Like, it's something where this team, it feels united, and right, you'd think that this late in the season, where they're at, that would be a given. But just, I think the way that they're playing, whether it is, again, the back line, whether it is, there's multiple attackers who, even if they're not peppering with shots, they just have this drive about them, and that's something where it is so dangerous for a team like that. It really does feel like all guys, whether it's you're in the starting 11, whether you're almost anyone off the bench, save for, Patrick Rakovsky, right? Like, who just, he's behind Rocco. Anyone is really able to come onto this team and contribute. And that's just a powerful thing.
It is. It is. I mean, look, if you mentioned, right, that anyone can come off the bench. We should probably note the fact that because Rising's games have gone through extra time, obviously that frees up an extra sub that you're able to make. They have used 6 of their 7 subs, and the only one that hasn't seen the field is Patrick Rakowski.
Yep.
Okay? Rising has used every outfield sub that they have at their disposal in both of these games and found the late winners with those guys on the field.
Yeah.
That does speak to some of the depth that's in here. And we knew that, right? When you're looking at a team that's got... Right, Manuel Arteaga was a Golden Boot contender at one point. Like halfway in the 2/3 of the way through the season. He's on the bench. Daniel Crewson was one of the first names on the team sheet at the start of the year.
Oh, yeah.
He's on the bench. Erickson Gallardo hasn't gotten the best crack at it lately, but he's also on the bench. Emil Cuello, guy who's, again, showing that he can come off the bench, especially against Orange County, and make things happen. Renzo Zambrano was one of the first names on the team sheet earlier this year. He's on the bench. That's what we're looking at.
I mean, it's something where, especially like you name a lot of the outside backs, they've all spent, whether through injury or form or whatever, all of those guys have spent different times within the starting lineup. I think that's the really powerful part, is that this team, when you look throughout the entire season, of like even going into, back to the first start of the season, to like who's really been the guys who have consistently always been in the starting lineup. And when you really think, even through now, and right, this isn't, I guess there's, injuries and stuff like that. But if you're talking about guys who have always been first choice, you look at Rocco, you look at Alejandro Fuenmayor, I would say Stenberg, once he came through midway through the season. And then you have, right, I guess Jose Andres Hernandez, even he wasn't an outright starter in the first part of the season. You have your Danny Trejo, you have Panos Armanakis, when he came on. But other than that, right, you see guys like Arteaga isn't starting after essentially doing it the entire season. Carlos Harvey has kind of been in and out. Renzo Zambrano was starting, and now he's not in it. It's a lot of just fluidity with all these different guys. And while some might look at that as a downside of, oh, hey, we haven't had this starting 11 now that we have done in back-to-back games, been those guys throughout the season, it does show that this team, when it gets into crunch time, most benches are not going 6 deep. You see the opposite. You have maybe, extra time permitting, you're maybe going, 2-3 in your bench. You want to go with your starting 11 for as long as you can. But Juan Guerra, listen, we've heard the D-back show, right? Say Torey Lovello has the Midas touch. You got to say the same thing for head coach Juan Guerra. He has made the right substitutions at the right time.
He has over these past few games. Look, we've had criticism of that during the course of the season. Not really now. Yeah, it's pretty good. I know we've. One thing I will say though, just to address one of these comments in here from Goalyman Pat. Interesting story arc for Fede Varela. I agree with that. Right, he was hyped as the big guy. Yeah. Right, the amount of hype that's there's the public hype and there's the private hype. But we heard a good bit of the private hype, and he was really hyped. Very much, and it didn't come off, did it?
No.
Okay,
no.
He's now not in the 18.
Yeah, it's to Albert's point. I don't think the starting 11 matters as much as every guy knowing their role on the pitch, and that's.
But it was, I think, again, and just to go back, sorry, to Varela.
Sure.
One of the big key things is that he was billed as the playmaker, and I think we've seen a couple of other guys have stepped up in those roles. Actually, I think that when you look at the ability to launch from deep, which wouldn't have been Fede's role, but is still something that's important, picking out the right passes. Mo Traore pulls off some bizarrely good passes from the back. Oh, yeah. Actually, the one that was called offside with Danny Trejo putting in the back was from Mo Traore. Oh, yeah. Carlos Harvey can do the exact same, right? There are those people there who can get that done. You've also got a guy like Panos Armanakis who, when you're further up the field, is going to get involved, is going to cause some concern, is going to find ways to play other people in. So it's interesting. It's as though some of the things that maybe we thought he was going to be pretty critical in terms of creating chances, in terms of build-up and all of that, and that just never really happened as much when he was out there on the field.
No, I mean, I think it's one of those things. I think it speaks to the bigger picture of how this team has been constructed and the guys who have stepped up, right? If Fede Varela is more of that typical, call it playmaker, there's other playmakers on this team, but they haven't done it all through one guy, right? Panos Armanakis, a lot of people look at him and in that creative number 10 role, but it's very fluid the way he links up with Darius Vermella, the way that, to your point, a Mo Traore or, really anyone in the back line, Stenberg, Fuenmayor is able to play a ball through the back, the way that Carlos Harvey is able to play a ball through, even drive through the middle. That's the beauty of this team. They can beat you in multiple ways, and it just always keeps you on edge. I know we've talked a lot about this Orange County matchup and just kind of putting a bow in it. Anything else from this past weekend that you want to highlight?
Have a look back at the fun.
I mean, that's where I was
Have a look
going.
back at the
Yeah, we do have a
fun.
nice little clip, right? I know we for those of you who saw it on Saturday, but it's absolutely worth watching again. Oh man,
Those scenes.
Oh,
Those scenes.
I mean, there's so much
Almost
more
as fun
content.
as the scenes as Reno 1868 joining the
it's just a random stray out of
joining
nowhere.
the gravestone back here.
That's okay. It's factually accurate.
None of a team that Rising has gotten rid of.
Don't disagree.
Shout out that last time Rakowski played at SAC, he conceded 4.
This is very true.
Very true.
It's very true. It was a different scene. A lot of different guys were either injured or just not in the
Lambert
line.
played his last game
That's
in
what
that
I was
match.
saying. That's crazy to think about. Yes, but a lot of very different scene, and I know we'll get into that a bit more on Thursday. But it goes to show, right? These matchups with San Diego, matchups with Orange County, it's always different. Well, I guess the third time around necessarily than the first two. Something to me that's always the same, or at least the consistency of it. So Friends of Four Peaks. Friends of Four Peaks.
Just in case you need a
They're
drink,
always
because like
consistent.
us, you're following what's going on in that D-backs game. And,
Yeah. I mean, you see Owen. He's cracking one open. He needs
yeah.
it, right? I know he's reaching for the wow. It is his favorite. Of course, have the Rattle On Red Ale as well. The beauty there. The Suns Brew. They play tonight as well. You know, Four Peaks just representing absolutely everyone here in the Valley, right? We know you guys, you drinking Four Peaks, you're having a good time. Make sure you do as well with, of course, Arizona's hometown brewery. It's the best freaking thing, right? You're already building the beer tower. We got a couple bit different beer towers, again, supporting us, everything like that. Check them out at Four Peaks Brew and at Four Peaks Pub on Instagram to keep up with the latest and greatest going on within Arizona's hometown brewery. Of course, check out fourpeaks.com to see all the fun stuff they have going on. Of course, find the beer locators, everything like that. You must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. Something you also can enjoy responsibly, right? A lot of people made the drive out, like we mentioned, to Orange County. I know there's some people already, making that flight out to Sacramento. And
Max, you flying to Sacramento?
I am flying to Sacramento.
He's flying to San Francisco.
I am flying to San Francisco.
I'm flying to Oakland. We're getting a train up from
This
there.
is true. Yeah, straight. You guys thought that what the heck were we watching again? Alien Hunters?
Ancient Aliens.
Ancient Aliens.
We're watching Ancient Aliens.
You
in the
thought
hotel
Ancient
room.
Aliens was good content. Get ready for Owen and Max take a train from Oakland to Sacramento content. Oh dear gosh. But hey, whether it's by plane, train, or automobile, you can stop at Circle K on the way, right? Circle K.
Yeah, fill up on snacks before you get on the train.
I mean, of course, that's exactly
what's a 2-hour train
Exactly.
ride without snacks?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Snacks and beers.
Snacks and beers. What more
Snacks
do
and
you,
beers.
what
That's
more
what
do you
you do
need?
at a
Snacks and
2-hour
beers.
train journey,
Snacks
yeah?
and beers. Snacks and beers.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah, check out Circle K. Check out their Inner Circle program, of course, right? It's super easy. Download the Circle K app. Enter in the phone number to opt in for the Inner Circle program. It's all for free. Again, man, like you guys understand what we're talking about here. We're talking about discounted gas, we're talking about free Polar Pops, free snacks, literally all just by signing up for this incredibly free program. They send you stuff on the daily basis. I literally just got like a note from the Inner Circle program. I'm like, hey man, would you like a free slice of pizza today? I'm like, yes, please. Are you kidding me? Do I have to think about that? No, I don't. Check out Circle K.
What do you
Download the
get
Inner
on that
Circle.
pizza, Max?
What's that?
What do you get on that pizza? Just
You
wondering.
son of a. Okay, this is Damon. We're not going to talk.
Max,
No, we're not going to talk about it. No,
we're gonna let you finish this Circle K read, and then we're gonna talk about pizza.
we're not. No, we are not. No.
I think pizza is the biggest story going on. with
Okay,
Phoenix
all I'll say
Rising
is this.
right now.
There is allegations going on that pizza was ruined, not at Circle K and not their pizza, not anything they have to do. Shout out Circle K. They're amazing. We will end the Circle K part. We are not talking
No,
about.
I was gonna give Circle K props because
Oh,
they
of
don't
course.
sell the shit that you put on my plate when you ordered pizza for us.
That's
so
talk coming from a man who is just ungrateful for free pizza that he was
Swearjar's
bought.
getting some use, but I'm gonna just put this in context. Apparently, Max
No
is the
free
kind
ads,
of
no
guy
free
who
ads, no free
orders
ads.
pizza.
No
I'm not
free
saying
ads.
who you ordered it from, but he did order pizza, and he got green bell peppers. And then half of it had spinach on it.
What-
This was for other people, not for himself.
What did the other
This
pizza
was
have on
for
it? What
the
did the other
office.
pizza have on it? What did the other pizza have on it? Please,
Nothing, from
no,
what I
it
gather.
had cheese on it, which is a
That's
very
nothing.
acceptable
cheese
pizza.
Isn't a normal. Cheese is just part of default pizza.
Max
the pizza doesn't have
ordered-
cheese on it. It's not pizza.
Max ordered pizza for the whole office.
I was a nice guy.
and he keeps saying he was a nice guy, but he didn't order anything that anyone wanted.
Doesn't matter. It's the thought that counts. Everyone looks at the execution and about, oh, what happened? But no. It's the thought. Oh, here we go.
We've now got
great. Oh, great. Oh, here we go.
Come on
what
around.
What are we doing here?
You caught him in a bad
insane. Spot. Are we going to talk
We got
about
Luigi
this?
over here.
He's just mad. He's mad.
You offered to get us pizza. You weren't giving us some of your pizza, Max. You weren't like, I ordered pizza for myself. You guys don't have dinner. You can have some of mine. That's a different scenario. You flew in like some sort of goddamn hero and needed to order the pizza. And then you ordered green bell pepper and half spinach. Half spinach. That's the part. It's absolutely lunacy. The half spinach part.
This is what happens when the D-backs are down 10 and Max is disappointing everyone.
They're down 10. They doubled their deficit.
Derek,
y'all are bad.
Pizza nutrition.
Candy corn. That's bullshit, though. Don't ever, no, this pizza thing is bullshit. I refuse to stand for that. I am not going to listen to it.
Thank you, Patrick.
Oh, you're doing something nice for We're doing nothing nice for nobody, man.
You know what? I've got to be honest. I've played various Mario games a lot, and I've never heard Luigi swear quite that much.
Yeah, that's the
you
the
caught
part
him
they
in
don't,
a really dark state.
Yeah, that's Patrick. Can I get another candy corn? Wait, here we go. Oh! First victory of the night. Let's go. Wow, that was pretty cool.
I think Luigi would have wanted you to choke on that one, to be honest.
In that moment, I almost forgot that you ordered me a green bell pepper.
I honestly was hoping for that because I forgot about it too.
I forgot about it for 2 seconds. Now I'm back to it. What were you thinking?
Can we move on in solidarity? We good here? A little sidebar, we're good? All right, Damon gave me the okay subliminally that we're good. Anyway, moving on. Right, let's take a look at the bigger context of bigger context of how the USL playoffs are shaping up. Okay, so here we go. We're down to the Final Four, folks. Rising. We posed the question: Are Rising back? Are they elite? Well, if you look at this damn bracket, you're darn right they are, right? Phoenix Rising going to be playing Sacramento Republic this weekend in the West. And of course, on the East, Louisville battering Detroit City. Who saw that coming? Almost all of us did. And of course, Charleston advancing over Birmingham Legion. Louisville and Charleston meet in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. It's one of those ones, right, whereby as you look over, I mean, Sacramento, I think, were completely dominant against San Antonio in that game. In my mind, I feel as though, as you look at what San Antonio brought in that game for the team that they are and the team that they are, right? I think now's a great time to say it, that someone told us earlier they wanted San Antonio, right? They wanted San Antonio because they thought that San Antonio were a bit overrated, right? They thought they were a little bit too cocky, a little bit too full of themselves. Yeah. I think that San Antonio was shown that against Sacramento, right? Listen, I'm going to say it now, and people may not want to hear this. I don't personally expect that Rising season will necessarily go beyond this weekend, right? I think it's perfectly reasonable to think that a very good Sacramento team that showed what they are capable of doing against San Antonio are going to come out and perform well against Rising in this one. I think it's entirely very possible that the season ends this weekend. But as you look then to the other side of the bracket and you look to the East, of course, both of the higher seeded teams win in those games. Detroit City, they were very lucky to get through in the first round, I think. People will tell you that they were the best team in that game against Pittsburgh. I find it hard to really agree sometimes with that sentiment. I think they were structured. I think they executed their own game plan well, yes. Yeah. But it did require a good amount of luck in there. And I mean, every win requires a good amount of luck. Of course. But that one did require, I think, quite an amount of luck in that game. And then against Louisville, they were shown as what they are, right? And that is a team that's not good enough to be at that stage. Louisville absolutely played them off the field completely. Oh, yeah. Not even close. No. Right? Harry's actually right there. San Antonio, they were all right for the first half, but again, didn't really sustain that one against Sacramento. But Louisville completely played Detroit off the park. And I mean, Charleston, Legion, I said all along, to me, Legion was my choice for an upset of the round. Oh, right? Sure. I thought that was a realistic one. They, of course, played it close, right? But as you look then to what happened in that game, I mean, it was a close game, right? 2-1 finish. Yeah. Charleston take the lead. Sure. Birmingham Legion pull it back, but In the end, that home field advantage is important. It helps Charleston to get over the line in the end.
Yeah, I mean, we even saw, the USL Championship from the league account on Twitter, even saying like, right, death taxes, Louisville City, enjoying a nice Eastern Conference final.
9 seasons in a row, they've made the conference final.
That's
9 seasons, eh? Ever since they have started, they have never.
That's absolutely unhinged.
Since arriving in Louisville,
insane.
fans in Louisville have never known their team not make it at least as far as a conference
Must
final.
be nice.
They've done it every single season of that club's
Honestly,
existence.
kind of nuts. That's
insane.
That's honestly insane. Yeah. Dear
How
gosh.
do you have that level of success over that stretch of time and never have a season where you just go,
I mean, even Rising stretch where they were making conference finals. They didn't have that consistent or for that long. That's insane to me. That's wow.
2015, they made it to the conference final. 2016 conference final. 2017 they won.
Mm-hmm.
2018 they won.
Mm-hmm.
2019 they lost in the final.
Yep.
2020 conference final. 2021 conference final. 2022 they were runners up in the final. This year 23 they're in the conference final again.
Okay.
I mean, look, Godyman Pat's right there.
good.
How bad the second half of the East is. I agree.
Yeah.
The East has got a really big disparity between the haves and the have-nots.
Agreed.
However,
Still got to do it. Still got to get there.
still got to do it, and in the playoffs, that's not
Anything
easy.
can happen. Detroit freaking won. They beat Pittsburgh.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But then you also, if you look bigger picture at some of the other teams, Tampa Bay and have a big team out in the East.
Yep.
That have a good amount of success. There are others as well, right? It's
for
not
sure.
as though. I mean, Charleston are the big one this year, but as you've looked in years past, I mean, there have been other teams that have managed to get success out there. So I mean, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy
I mean,
to do that with the consistency
Yeah.
that they have done it with.
No,
right?
that's true.
That's difficult.
That's true. I mean, right? It's not to. I don't disagree with the comment of right. Like, definitely, it's the East has more disparity than the West. But it's like, again, playoffs are absolutely unpredictable. You don't know. You still got to qualify and get there. And it's like, it is a testament to them. Spin Zone, they're actually really bad because after all of those, what's it called? Those Eastern Conference Finals appearances and only what they have to show for it. They're actually very unclinical is the Spin Zone to it. That's the joke. Or is it true? Hey, but hey, who do you have? And we can probably talk about it a bit deeper, but who do you like just off the top of your head in the East?
I'm going to save that one for Thursday.
Fair enough. I do respect
but
that.
I will say the 1 minute news here. If anyone's interested, referee assignments are out for the weekend. Elvis Ismanovic, who had Rising in the first round over in San Diego Loyal, he'll be taking charge in the Eastern Conference Final. Sure. Charleston Battery against ALLCITY. Meanwhile, taking charge of Rising's game this weekend is Ricardo Fierro. A little fact for you, Ricardo Fierro is taking charge of 5 Phoenix Rising games over the course of his career. Rising have won 4 of the games and lost 1. The 1 loss was Rising's loss at home to San Antonio this year.
Yeah. Okay.
Although a fun little fact as well, a fun little addendum to it. AR1 for that one is Noah Kenyawani. Familiar name? Familiar name why? He's actually a former track athlete at ASU.
Damn.
Who has repeatedly run the line for Phoenix Rising. Surprised they're flying out to Sacramento for it. He made his MLS debut as well this year.
Nice. Huh. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Well, it's right. And we'll get into Thursday a bit more about Rising, right? Beyond just referee assignments, as important as they are. We'll preview on Thursday a little bit deeper Rising's matchup against Sacramento in the Western
Getting that one out of the way
Conference
now.
Final.
We're not really going to have to talk about it much on, I don't think, on Thursday.
What?
Referee assignments.
Well, that's
That's
I
getting out of the way
said
now.
beyond that because you just covered it. You want to bring up wet referee assignments twice in a week?
No, I don't. That's the point.
You have a referee, big referee. One's, this guy is an advocate for big referee, just like Devin All's advocate for big candy corn, or actually that's Reese for big candy corn. But I think we had another graphic in here, something about someone's tattoo tracker. We'll just actually skip right past that. We don't need to.
Max,
we just
Max,
skip right
are
through
you
it.
potentially 180 minutes away from a new tattoo?
Listen, all I'm saying is this. I have not gotten a haircut since Phoenix Rising's, started the playoffs.
Rumor has it.
And they have not lost. So maybe it's time to get a haircut. I should call my barber. Just, I want to look good. If I'm traveling to Sacramento, especially
much like the
be
spot,
aerodynamic for
train.
train. Those things can hold up. It's not the same speed as
Max,
an airplane. I want to be weighed back.
Max, the new spot is the barber's chair for you. Okay, it's not happening. You don't go there.
The spot.
But
I'm
we need to also point out the fact here that I'm hearing some serious questions around the change in the potential design for this tattoo. It will still be a superhero named Adman, with the big cartoon face, but he will be carrying a pizza.
He will not be doing.
He will be carrying a pizza.
Hey, buddy, it's my body, my choice.
I
will
vote
do what I
yes
want.
to pizza. What do you vote?
This is
Producer
not a
Damon?
vote. My body is not democracy.
Oh, we're deciding his tattoo.
No, we're not.
Yeah, is he going to be
No.
carrying? Is the Ant-Man superhero going to be carrying the pizza that you don't want?
I think it has to be a green bell pepper and
A green
half
bell
of
pepper,
half
half
of
No.
a thing of
spinach.
spinach.
Listen, this is a mood. Okay, first off,
with like a times
No,
X in the middle.
No,
you know what
no.
I mean? Like they're collabing.
no.
Oh yeah.
No.
Max is big on partnerships. That would work.
Don't do this. Dear gosh. No. First off, this is all a moot point. Okay, we don't even know Phoenix Rising gonna win the whole thing. They gotta go there.
I can't believe you're getting a tattoo, Max.
Nah, okay.
Of green bell peppers and spinach.
This-
That's the craziest
We're not
part.
putting this out. This almost makes me want to say pull the clip. That way it's verbatim what I said. But no, that's not happening, right?
Well, you didn't specify what Adman, the superhero figure, was doing.
This
In this
is
case,
not
he's
a
just delivering the pizza that nobody wants.
Buddy, if I let
it is true to the actual character.
If I let the PHNX Rising community dictate this so-called tattoo, if it were to happen, this would be way worse than what you guys are describing. So no.
Exactly. So agree with us.
I'll agree with myself.
Otherwise, we're going to go on Discord and put it in there instead.
This is not weird. This is not happening. We're not going to turn this. This is not going to unravel. We're done. We move on. The tattoo tracker is out of the way. We're good.
What about like I'm buying beers somewhere? That'd be pretty fire.
He could have a beer in one hand. You won't argue with that because that's a. See, he's actually thinking about that one.
You piqued my interest.
There you go. Devin has the
Wait,
recording, by the way,
wait,
it's been
stop.
clarified.
I'm just gonna get a haircut, and that'll sort itself
No, you
out. I'll
won't.
bet on Phoenix Rising to win. Don't worry, I'll put all the stops. Don't you worry. I'm really supportive of Rising, everyone. I want to look my best. I want Rising to bet. I'll bet on them. Everything like that. We love it. We obviously Paul supports me. Yes, he supports my idea.
Hang on a minute. I just got to double check. If you're going to do that, I just got to double check if that screenshot you sent me of your flight details may or may not have the confirmation number, so I can go ahead and cancel it.
Anyway, well, in that case, I may not be flying high, but I can't be flying high with our friends at OG's Brands. OG's Brands, you always flying high with them. Rumor has it that right after Saturday night's win, had a little bit of a nice party, and then I had to fly back very early Sunday morning. And rumor has it I may have been a little hungover, but you know what helps with that? I'm not a doctor. But OG's Brands really helps.
You're not a
that.
doctor, man.
Not a doctor.
You're not a doctor. This is not medical advice.
No, there is no medical advice. Definitely not that medical advice. But hey, OG's Brands, it's a good freaking time, right? You can check them out with their sativas, their indicas, the fruits, the creams, the mixed bags, all of that stuff. And here's the thing, guys. They have a nice little promo code, right, with our friends at Zen Leaf Dispensaries, right? Here's what I want you guys to do. Go over to zenleafdispensaries.com. Use promo code PHNX at checkout, and you get 25% off a bag. Again, zenleafdispensaries.com. Promo code PHNX at checkout. You get 25% off a bag. It's valid until November 30th. Valid until November 30th at zenleafdispensaries.com. Check us out. OG's Brands. Again, promo code PHNX. We appreciate y'all so much. Of course, shout out to Valley Tap Room as well. I'm doing a slew of Phoenix Rising watch parties. I get it. Sacramento a bit further. Not as many people may be traveling compared to OC. Anything like that. If you guys are on the east side, right? If you happen to be out there, if it's convenient for you.
They'll pop the game on for you.
Yeah, they will pop on the game at Valley Tap Room, right? Good times, right? Beer, all of that fun stuff. Yeah, check them out on the 202 and Gilbert. If you guys are on the east side, tell me Donald I sent you. Say what's up. And yeah, check them out on Instagram at Valley Tap Room.
There's a lot of stuff at Valley's happening as well. Loads of beers, like 30 taps, isn't that?
They do.
30 taps.
A lot of daps.
Plenty of beers.
A lot of 4
All
beats.
for Max to buy you.
Anyway, let's move on and pretend the last segment never happened. You have some, we're talking about fantasy.
Indeed.
Specifically.
So here's some updates for you. People wanted to know, I would imagine, quite how the fantasy football has been going. And guess what? I'm here. I'm here with the updates on the most recent week's performance. What I don't currently have, I didn't actually add up the scores from the other week as well. So I'm going to just do that as I read these out.
This is
But our
for
winner-
this is for week 2 only.
This is for week 2 only.
Can you go third, second, first in that order, please?
No, because you weren't third anyway.
What?
You were 5th.
I'm not saying for me. I just
Okay.
said just build the suspense.
So to build up the suspense, in third place
Oh, yeah.
was It was the man himself, USL Tactics, John Morrissey.
Hey.
Finished in third with 37
Big
points.
brain, John Morrissey. There we go.
Big brain, John Morrissey. In second. Give me a drum roll. It was me. I had 41 points. I finished second for the second week in a row.
Who was your highest scorer?
My highest scorer was Cameron Lancaster.
Game of Thrones, baby. No free ads.
Cameron Lancaster. Turns out that he gets 13 points because the guy likes to score goals. Emilio Carlswell also did pretty well. Sean Toach did pretty well as well in terms of the scoring. Guys that I picked that did pretty well in there. And in first place. Give me a better drum roll.
I don't. How do you?
Producer Gaming, give me a drum roll.
There we go. Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear that, but he's currently banging on the desk. It's actually someone in the chat right now. It's Devin Blackwell, finished first in this week. 43.
Sound like you reached with the face on Home Alone. Oh, yeah. That's crazy.
To give you the remainder of the results then. In fourth, Travis Ricketts with 36. In fifth, Max Simpson with 35.
Baby!
32, it's my mum. 28, Luke Berry. 28, Eric Bales. 27, Michael Vanderplas. 25 for Kevin Blackwell. 24 for BJ Blinson. 21 for both William Scott and my dad, who also playing along.
Of course.
And in last place, with 20 points, is the person who's now running away. It is the Stat Lucky. Reese, he finished in last.
Wasn't he second to last week?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So you're telling me that
Pretty
it
bad.
can't get worse from here, and then it did. He literally got worse.
Yeah, it did.
Wow, that's pretty
bad. But you know
bad.
what this means, right? We need to add these up. We need to see what the big picture looks like right now. And in third, as it stands, I'll go from the top 5, right, in terms of both weeks added together.
Yeah.
John Morrissey comes in at 5th with 71 points. Luke Berry in 4th with 80 points. Travis Ricketts in 3rd with 83.
Yep.
Darren Blackwell in 2nd with 88. And guess who's top?
Me.
It's me on 92 points.
Here we go. Rigged.
It's not rigged. I'm being serious.
You're grinning through your freaking teeth, bro.
I am
It's rigged.
good
That
at
sounds
this.
pretty rigged.
It's rigged. Buddy, if I rigged it, you know I'd put myself top.
If I wanted to rig it, I would have put myself top every week. I'm not, because I'm not rigging
No,
it.
because you make it easier to camouflage. Oh, no, I came in second both weeks. How could that ever add up to first? Oh, wait, it does.
Yeah,
rigged.
because no one else can play as well consistently.
Reese, it's not rigged for you. You're just bad. You literally got worse, and you came in second to last week. I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
Reese, you're just atrocious, my friend.
You're literally our stat lackey. What are we? Come on.
What is he doing? What is he doing? But yeah, I tell you what, this is really good fun time. We'll have details on the next week coming out tomorrow.
Yep.
They will be a little bit more difficult this week, right? You know why it's going to be a bit more difficult?
Less choices.
Less choices, but here's where it gets even more difficult.
Oh.
We're not changing the maximum number of players that you can pick per team. It's still going to be free. So you've got to pick players from every single team. You got to work out.
I don't like that.
You don't like it. It's going to be tough, but it's going to be fun.
Okay. Well, we'll do our picks on Thursday, shall we?
Yeah, we'll do our picks on Thursday. It will go out tomorrow, so you can, of course, make your own picks as well and join in. And just make sure you get them in before the first conference final kicks off. Again, even if you haven't taken part in it so far, feel free to join in. It's always fun on the week by week just to see if new people show up that they can do well.
Oh, yeah.
And it's always a good fun. I mean, Reese seems to think he's going to win this week. I'm not so convinced of that one.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are.
No.
There's
Tell you what, though.
It's like zero confidence. Oh, yeah.
But still, it's spooky season here, right? Yeah.
It's
Halloween.
It is Halloween.
It's Halloween. Of course, we've got the gravestone here.
You do.
We got the gravestone. We got Reno. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
San Diego. Rest in. I'm putting him on the spot.
I don't know.
He doesn't like this.
I don't know. Rest in. Just rest, sweet prince. I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
Never won a playoff game.
No, that's fair.
Shout out to San Diego Loyal.
They're not.
But of course, that's not, some people I know, people will be going out, right? Maybe dressing up.
People were asking us if we dressed up.
People were asking us if we dressed up. We didn't dress up, but I tell you who did dress up, and it was someone 6 years ago. Let's have a look at this one. Let's take a look at this one. Shout out to none other than Stat Lucky Reese, who didn't know this was coming. Who went with the... there we go, the hot dog.
Can confirm he's a mustard guy. He's a big mustard guy. Oh, man.
You have to be a mustard guy.
Stat Lucky. Wow, that's just... Wow. What a guy. What a guy, man.
Shout out to Stat Lucky Reese.
Yeah, no idea.
Is he going to respond, though? He's refused the headset.
He refused to respond. He is just absolutely shell-shocked.
I tried to give Reese an opportunity to speak, to defend himself.
We offered him a right of reply, and he's declined.
Yeah. Okay, that's how it goes. Yeah. Shout out to Lucky Reese.
So what are you guys dressing up as here now in the chat? Give us a shout if you want. Are you dressing up as a hot dog like our boy Reese did?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm dressing up like a loser because the D-backs are losers and all their fans are losers like me.
To be fair, you are wearing a U of A
Got
football
him. You beat me
sweatshirt
too,
there.
buddy.
So
You mean the team that's really good
Stop.
right now?
Yeah.
Here we go.
You convince yourself.
We're a basketball school. Just wait.
Convince ourselves of it. We have multiple ranked wins.
Anyway,
in a row.
this is the PHNX Rising podcast. I want anything else before we depart.
The D-backs are in the World Series. Look how that's going for them
Dear
right
gosh,
now.
no, we this is a slippery slope. Don't get Derek back over here. We don't want that. Dear gosh. Yeah. Anyway, anything else before we get out of here?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I think that says it right there.
Oh, someone is coming back.
Oh, here we go.
Someone is coming back.
Oh, dear gosh. We're wrapping up. This is now elongating. This man has beer. Oh, dear gosh. There's a beer in the bat. Oh, boy.
Go ahead. Just finish it up. I just want to make sure you don't say any inflammatory things about your stupid-ass pizza orders. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the PHNX Rising podcast. You can, of course, follow us on Twitter at PHNX__Rising because double the underscore.
Well, it was half the spinach.
You can follow me on Twitter at Max David Simpson. You can follow Owen on Twitter at OJEvans18. You can follow Damon Dog on Twitter at Damon Dog with a DAWG. You can follow Stat Like Reese at Reese11_. Only just the one underscore, not the two underscores. Again, the two underscores would match the number of weeks in which he was bad at our little USL Fantasy League.
Can we say double the underscores, half the spinach on every show from now on?
Yes.
I'm quite literally redeeming myself on Friday, so how about y'all? Shove it, unlike the D-backs who aren't shoving it tonight, but to the beautiful game.
Hang on.
Whoa,
we went
what?
through all the people's Twitter accounts. Why aren't you addressing our good mayor here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why haven't you plugged his Twitter account?
Jealous?
I mean, you actually quite you have quite the cornucopia of followers. I mean, Cap Caveman. Boom. Yeah, of course. Follow Derek there.
His account is going to be a really, really sad place
He's gonna be really
tonight.
sad boy. Did you just?
Thing.
This man has a
He's got his
vacuum and a bat of beer, and there's a swear jar that will be cracked open. Anyway, appreciate everyone joining us. Of course, we'll be back on Thursday, 6 p.m. All that fun stuff. It's a beautiful game, but it's when we're beautiful. When is he gone? When your team wins in the playoffs. Here we go. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.